Assalamu alaikum students. How are you all? Hope you all are fit and fine in your homes with the grace of Almighty Allah. In the last session, we had learned about the different stone tools, rock paintings, and transforming to farming and herding. Today in this session, we will continue reading about the early people. Do you know, students, the period from 2.6 billion years BCE to 10,000 BCE is called as the Paleolithic Age or Old Stone Age, and the period from 10,000 BCE to 8,000 BCE is called as the Mesolithic Age or Middle Stone Age. Here, BCE means before Christ or before Common Era, and the period from 8000 BCE to 3000 BCE is called as Neolithic Age or New Stone Age. Now, let's see how the early people moved towards settled life. As the early people started farming, they started realizing that to cultivate crops, it takes some time, nearly 6 months or 1 year. Seeds took some time to grow as plants. Watering them, protecting them from birds and animals, they had to be cared until the grains ripened. After that, the grains had to be stored carefully for future. The early people store grains in clay pots or oven baskets or in pit houses under the ground. Animals increase in number naturally if they are properly taken care of. They provide milk, meat, and other dairy products. Due to these reasons, people began to settle down in convenient places for longer time. The people lived in the huts or houses made of mud and grass. In some places, people built pit houses in the ground with steps leading into them, along with some cooking tools inside and outside the houses. These may have provided shelter in cold weathers. Stone tools used by the farmers and herders. The early farmers needed to clear forest by cutting trees. They developed new kinds of stone tools which were called Neolithic stone tools by the archaeologist. Do you know who is archaeologist? Archaeologist is a scientist who study the past by digging the old places where people lived and takes out the remained things like bones, pots, tools, etc. The early farmers selected the right kind of stone which was ground on rock to give it an axe-like edge. This axe head was fixed to a wooden handle and was able to cut trees and animals' flesh. This period of early agriculture is called the Neolithic period. Mortars and pestles were used for grinding grain and other plant products. Here you can see on the screen, it is a mortar pestle. Many earthen pots were made by early people. Some are decorated, some have been excavated. These pots were probably used for cooking and to store food grains. During the late Neolithic age, people made more technological advances. Tool makers created many farming tools according to their needs. By the beginning of the Bronze Age, communities extended to different parts. More complex cultures called civilization began to develop in these communities. In the next chapter, you will come to know about early civilization and when it started and a detailed information about it. Okay students, so this is about the early people. Allah Hafiz.